As part of TFT's initiative for providing a whole series of superior water flow equipment, some of the recent additions into the product line include what we call the VOS, or the valve on street, which has a kind of an unusual name, but for a very specific operational procedure that's used. And then we also have our Manifolds series. Here you see an LDH water thief. And then we have a 3-way manifold, and I'll show in a moment a 4-way manifold. And we have all sorts of configurable type manifolds that we now build and offer through the product line. Again, all of them with this, as we've done in a lot of our other product lines, we're really stressing weight. So we've tried to remove a tremendous amount of the weight out of these things by using the hardcoat anodized aluminum alloy that's been powder coated, very corrosion resistant, and at the same time have something that's very high flowing. As we do in a lot of our other LDH hardware, we use this quarter ball design that's been so effective in our BIV series and all the intake style valves that we have. But we use the exact same configuration here of a stainless steel quarter turn valve, and we put it in this VOS configuration, which you can see here can either be purchased with a hand wheel type operational control on it, or what we call our parallel shaft gear drive, which kind of is a little more compact. It keeps the operations at the top, where this puts the operation more off to either one side or the other, depending on where you orient the handle. As with all of our TFT LDH hardware, the coupling systems that we use also are very unique to TFT. We use a polymer ring, strip and ring assembly, which allows very easily to change couplings out, or to, if a coupling gets damaged or broken in the field or something like that, a quick, very, very quick repair. Now you notice on these two VOS versions that we have here, not only are the differences that we have in the operational controls from the parallel shaft here to the hand wheel style, but you'll also notice the one over there has one of our pressure relief valves integrated into it, where this one just typically has a plate on the bottom where the pressure relief valve would go. Now TFT's PRV valve, or pressure relief valve, is now actually standard with a lot of the major truck manufacturers as well, because it meets the stringent criteria that NFPA puts on for high volume and quick acting as far as a pressure relief valve, which is when you're doing the water flow business and you have lots of flows and lots of pressure. I think everybody realizes that to have a valve close or to have something happen often can do tremendous damage to a pump or to hose lines or something like that. And you want to try to protect that in any way you can. And this is what TFT's PRV valve does. So long used specifically just on our intake valves like the BIVs, we now try to incorporate them across the whole product line here that we have with our different water flow devices. Easily set in the field. Again, very high flow, very quick acting. But in some cases you can see right away here, like on this, the valve on street series here, it does add weight and length to something that often isn't necessary to have that. I'll pull this plate off here real quick, and you can see that the mounting is common here, just like it is on the manifold and the Siamese valves that we have over here. It's just kind of a plug and play type scenario that we've done. The plate would come off, and then very easily the PRV could be added in whatever configuration or whatever way you need to have it work there. So again, the VOS is ideally suited for the valve on street operations where just opening and closing a hose line, or because of its configuration to be able to work on 4 and 4.5 inch thread, it's an ideal tool to be used in tanker or water tender filling discharge ports, because those size pumps tend to have the much smaller discharge or inlets that they have on them. So that's really the whole the VOS series that we have here that you can see. Now I kind of look over here a little bit. This is a water thief, and in this case we can configure these, because of the way we do our coupling systems, almost any way you want them. Now you notice here, this is designed for gazintas, we call them, or this would be accepting hose lines from different places. You'd have a 5-inch in and maybe being fed with 2 additional 2.5 or 3-inch lines. In a different configuration, like you see back here with this manifold, we've chosen to use the male threads here. So really the only difference in these valves is the use of either a male thread here or the insertion of a rocker lug female swiveling coupling here. The valves, the operational controls, everything else is identical on it. So again, we're using a main platform and a building block type system to add all of these in. All of our discharges on all the different manifolds that we have here and all the configurations that we have in the manifolds, we've designed for maximum flow at minimum loss. These are all rated at 500 gallons per minute per discharge port, with losses less than 5 psi. And again, we've taken advantage of this quarter ball design that we have, that when it's in the open position, it is totally out of the waterway, allowing the waterway to be totally open with very, very little loss in it. So that, and little things like folding handles that allow the unit to be stored very compactly or opened up in the field and very easily used, or sometimes you may have interference and be able to move a valve above and around the piece of interference depending on what the situation is on the fire ground. Again, available in all couplings from 4, 4.5 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch threaded, as well as 4 inch, 5 inch stores in all sorts of configurations of swiveling or non-swiveling. So again, if you have any questions on TFT's really broadening line of water flow devices that we have here, like the VOS valve on street, or any of the jumbo manifolds or Siamese or valved water thieves that we have shown here, feel free to visit tft.com and get all the information you need, or give one of our service and tech team members a call at 800-348-2686. And if you have any additional questions, we have a full literature, everything you're looking for here, as well as video and technical information on flow and performance. So let us know how we can help you with your water flow needs.